Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
How are you doing on this Halloween week?
Yep. This is our live. If you've never been here, I'm Sean. This is Allison. We're with
Hi,
Spoken
guys.
Garden. We do a live show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. And this week, we're doing spooky, scary plants.
We thought this would be super fun for this week.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. It's going to be Halloween coming up on Saturday, and we just wanted to talk about maybe some creepy, scary plants out there that you might not have ever heard of. And we've definitely haven't heard of a lot of these. So this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, this will be fun. And yeah, we were kind of thinking about this idea and just starting to brainstorm. And as we got researching, there are so many crazy plants in the plant world. I mean, just all kinds of, I don't know, we're going to present some of our favorites to you. We chose, I think we have 9, right?
Yeah, we have 9 of them tonight, yeah. Then some of them, you're just going to be like, what?
Yeah.
That's an actual plant? And it's like, yeah, these are naturally occurring. They've evolved to look like this. It's crazy.
It's so weird. We actually have one of these plants in our yard because we were looking at plants that were all over the world just to get a range. And we luckily had, well, I don't think the plant that we chose would be considered technically a spooky plant, but we're going to explain why we think
there's different reasons for things to be scary and creepy and that type of thing. Yeah, we'll let you know. So we'll talk about it.
I know, we'll get back to that a little later. But so we're happy you're here. If this is your first time here, like Sean said, we go live every Wednesday. Otherwise, we put out a daily garden care video to help you, a beginning gardener or any new gardener that just needs some help on their skills. So we're happy you're here. And if you're here in the replay, welcome. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, and make sure if you're here in the replay and you do any comments or any questions or anything, make sure to put down #replay, and then we'll know that you watched afterwards, and then we can reply.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. Yeah. Okay, I think we should get into it, right?
Totally. Oh yeah, let's do this.
We, again, have 9 plants to present to you. They're in no particular order. It's just kind of a random list for spooky, scary Halloween plants.
So we're gonna generally go over these plants, but really the different levels of scary. Plants can be scary for a lot of different reasons. They can be scary because they look scary, right? They can be scary because they have really, really terrible attributes or ways they can be used that are super scary for us human beings.
Like deadly, poisonous type stuff.
Yeah. And then there's other reasons why plants are scary, because they might grow out of control where you live. And that's super scary because you don't know what to do or how to control them.
Well, and I think as we present this list to you, you guys will see as well. I think it's interesting how certain plants got named because of either the way they look or some characteristic that they have, and that just became their common name forever. So they may not even have any scary attributes, but they might look like something. So we'll show you some examples.
Yeah. So should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, number 1.
Okay, so
here we go.
Now, you guys will see, this is actually a beautiful plant. It is called wolf's bane, and it,
Go ahead.
Are we going to show that?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's
so
on
we've got it shown. So sorry, we've got a tiny bit of a delay. So we were like, can you guys see what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So wolf's bane, you guys, look at this. It's kind of a beautiful purple.
It's a gorgeous plant.
I know, I like it. It's actually a fall blooming perennial.
Yeah, it's striking. And so wolfsbane, we found out that this plant actually was used, different parts of it can be used. I think the stems and the leaves are ground down, and the sap from it can actually be a poison. And was it the Greeks?
I think ancient Greeks used it. They poisoned their bait, or they baited wolves. Yeah,
their arrows and spears and knives.
I think that's kind of interesting. That's actually where the name wolf's bane, this common name, because it's also known as, what is it, monk's hood?
Monk's hood.
And also aconite.
And it actually looks like, if you look at the flowers and you look at them closely, they actually look like they're in the shape of a hood of a monk, right? I mean, can you see that? I can see that.
I see that.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting how this plant is just, it's so deadly that it was actually used in the past to actually poison and kill wolves.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions about wolfsbane or what you're seeing or any comments, please go ahead and put them in the chat if you're with us live, or in the comments down below if you're watching as a playback.
Yep, totally.
And we forgot to say, as we're going through this list, we would love for you guys to choose your favorite and let us know in the comments.
Yeah, totally. Which one is the most scariest to you, or not even in this list? Do you have a scary plant in mind that you want to share with us and the rest of the audience?
Yeah, there are so many others that we left off the list. We just chose these 9. So again, But I think wolfsbane's something I would actually, I think I love it. Some of you may know we love purple flowers. Like, I could see that in our yard.
It's
but
beautiful.
We wouldn't want our pets to get into it, our future pets. We don't have dogs right now, but we will in the future again.
We will.
And that scares me to think, like, what if they got into it just being curious? You know, they would, I mean, it could really hurt them.
Yep, and that's something you want to take into consideration when you're choosing plants. Side note from Scary Plants. You want to take into consideration when you're choosing plants for your garden and placing them. Does it have those poisonous attributes? Is it going to be poisonous to children or pets?
So I know, that's because there are a lot of other plants that you need to be careful.
Yep, totally.
But okay, getting on the list.
So,
so number one, wolfsbane.
Yep. Japanese bloodgrass is next.
Ooh.
Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's red.
I think that is a really interesting grass. And you know, it there's really nothing scary about this plant. It just looks like blood. It could look like it's dripping blood.
Now, it doesn't look like this from the get-go when it's a young plant. It has very green leaves when it's very young, when it's juvenile, only maybe a year or two old, maybe a couple, maybe 3 or 4 years old. And then it has red tips. But as it matures, as it gets older, those green leaves turn into this kind of red, this blood-looking red. And then as it matures, it keeps the red. These leaves don't change back to green. So this is a really cool plant to have in your garden if you want a contrast of color and texture, and it's very striking. Can you imagine this plant by really bright green leaved other plants? I mean, this would just be super striking as a contrast.
Or even like Shasta daisies, you know, it's like red and white. I think one thing we forgot to mention, this plant is actually native to East and Southeast Asia, so China, Japan.
Oh, and we should back up
we probably didn't say that.
We didn't say that about wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is actually native to Western and Central Europe, so it's pretty broad spread over that area. So
yeah, would you guys plant this in your yard? And do you know a spot you would put it? Because I actually would, I think I kind of want us to add it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's nothing scary about it. It's just funny how certain plants, their common names become like blood or, you know, death or whatever. It's like, where do people come up with this?
And this is just an ornamental grass.
Yeah,
There's nothing scary about this grass at all. It doesn't spread fast in most climates. It's not known to be a noxious weed or take over areas, but it's a beautiful plant. It's an ornamental grass. It just has this crazy name.
I know. Isn't that funny how things just...
So,
okay, number 3 on the list. We've got our slides ready for you guys. This one I don't really get.
Me either.
This is called spider flower.
Yeah, and somebody had a great imagination when they came up with a common name for this. And again, all these names, these are common names that we're coming up with. We're not giving you the, you can see on the screen there's the scientific name, the genus and species of this plant. But these are common names for all these plants that we're telling you. Wolfsbane, Japanese bloodgrass, and this one, spider flower. And somebody had a really good imagination.
I know.
I don't see it.
I'm looking at this picture and I don't see how everybody thinks it looks like spiders. Is it a spider web, or are we talking about an actual insect?
I don't know. Maybe they were going for the insect similarity, but I just don't see it. I just see a beautiful, beautiful flower.
I think these are gorgeous, and apparently it slightly resembles the shape of a spider.
Maybe the center of the flower.
I see that kind of.
Maybe there could be an arachnid type of similarity.
I mean, keep it out. I think it's a beautiful plant, but I don't like the name. Yeah. It's native to South America, so Argentina and Brazil.
It's a gorgeous plant.
Yeah, I don't know what hardiness zones. I don't know if we could grow this in our garden, but it's pretty.
Well, maybe.
Would you guys add this to your garden?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know if you guys would add this to your garden. If you would add any of these to your garden. Yeah, you know, let us know in the comments or in the chat if you're here with us live, if you would add this to your garden. I mean, these have creepy names so far, and the one plant, the wolfsbane, is actually a very dangerous plant. But with knowing all that, would you add it to your garden?
Yeah.
So
let us know. Okay, moving on. Okay, you guys, this is, I think, the craziest plant on our list, and you'll see why in just a second.
Okay,
I don't even want to tell you the name.
Okay, yeah. The eyeball plants. Sounds ominous.
Can you believe this thing? I've never seen a plant like this before.
But they look like eyeballs.
They
literally, especially the picture on the right-hand side of the screen,
which
there.
I think looks totally fake, but
I think those look
found
like
that,
eyeballs.
and it is.
You know, actually, you're right. It looks a little fake. It looks like it could be maybe from a B horror movie or something. You know, maybe a C horror movie. But yeah, I mean, it does. They do resemble eyeballs. So. Fun fact on these, you guys, the eyeball plant is actually part of the daisy family.
Yes, in the Asteraceae family. Can you
so it's considered a type of daisy flower.
Like, in other words, it's related to like a Shasta daisy, a coneflower, something like that. Like, how? I don't get it. Yeah. I think this is such an interesting plant. It's it apparently blooms summer to fall, so that's kind of interesting, I guess. It's really unique, right? Flowers can come in white, orange, yellow, and other colors where the central dot might be a different color as well.
Yep.
So you can see two different versions of it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what in the world? I guess it's what, native to South America, I believe?
Yep, it's native to South America, and it's just a crazy looking plant. But the uniqueness of this plant as considered an actual daisy flower, can you imagine what this would look like in our garden?
I can't. No, I don't even know where we would put it.
I don't know either, but can you imagine it in your garden? I mean, it'd be beautiful. It'd be totally unique.
Coming out.
I know,
and
just
maybe
these little eyeballs.
It would hopefully, like, you could put it right by your front door and it'd be like this creepy plant for trick-or-treating, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Put it in a container or something. Crazy. Awesome. Okay, I kind of might have lied because this next plant might be the weirdest one yet.
Oh yeah, this is a weird one.
This is a new one. I've never heard of this one before. That is real.
That is a real plant, you guys.
A real plant.
Yep, right in the big picture right there. The one on the side is actually for comparison. That's obviously, that's a bat.
This is called a bat. It has a lot of common names, but FACE CUPHEA or bat face plant, or is there another name? I don't know.
It really looks like a bat with the ears, and it has that shape of the nose and maybe the eyebrows.
That is the weirdest thing.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
It's so cool though. Yep. I kind of want to add this one.
Yeah, so this is an interesting plant. It's actually an evergreen perennial. It's actually a shrub, and it's native to Mexico, of all places. So, I mean, this plant has evolved to have this shape of a flower. Maybe it evolved this way to scare away predators.
I know, it makes you wonder,
or other types of insects or whatever, so they wouldn't eat the flower. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, why would a flower look like an animal?
It's a beautiful plant. I mean, it's and like Sean said, it's actually a shrub. So these are stems coming up that have this flower at the end of it. Yep. And it's just, and then it has these, what are these petals? Like what?
So the red pieces, those are probably petals. I mean, I haven't studied it too far into it, but those look like petals to me. And then the rest of it just looks like a modified inner portion of a flower, like the reproductive pieces of the flower with the stamens and the anthers and the ovaries in the center somewhere in there. I mean, it's everything else in there just looks like modified petals and sepals.
That was the weirdest thing. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So far, to me, this is the creepiest one.
I know, it's a toss-up. We do have a couple other interesting ones, but this...
yeah, isn't that crazy, you guys?
I think that would be pretty cool in a garden, actually.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine walking through like a forest or somebody's garden and seeing that and looking at it, and it looks like this bat is looking right at you and it's not flinching? That would kind of creep me out a little bit.
Well, and it's like such a conversation piece, right? You can have like this whole section of your garden just for Halloween, and you have all these crazy plants. Yep. Eyeballs and bats coming up.
Oh, crazy.
We're helping you design your garden next year.
Yeah, the creepy garden.
The creepy garden.
Your Halloween garden.
Okay.
Okay, next
Moving on. Now, this is more of a family of plants, less one plant. Yeah. Because this is an interesting group of plants.
Yeah, right? It really is. It's a very large
it's a huge
family of plants. The nightshade family of plants, Solanaceae. There's many different species in this family of plants. So nightshade, of course, there's deadly nightshade or belladonna, which is the poisonous.
That's this picture.
That's this picture. This flower, this purple flower. It gets red berries. Most of that plant is poisonous to pretty much everybody, and so. That plant right there, you wouldn't want to handle it with just your fingers and raw skin. You'd want some protection with gloves or something. But also in this family of this this poisonous belladonna plant in the same family as that plant. Tomatoes, potatoes, tobacco.
Eggplant. I mean, there's
yeah, the eggplant,
peppers.
of all things. Isn't that crazy?
So many things.
Yeah, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen there the tomatoes there. And so, yeah, in this large family of plants, plant family, there's all sorts of different plants in it. It's just amazing. So
it's amazing how much diversity is within one plant group. And the fact that, I mean, I don't know, I always wonder, like, how do, you think back in history and, like, back to the wolfsbane that we talked about, how do they discover that things are poisonous, and how do they test that? I mean, obviously there's
a lot of trial and error.
A lot of trial and error.
There was a need, though.
Well, that's so weird. How do you just randomly discover this whole plant family, and then this whole section of these are deadly, and the other ones you eat? Yep. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about all the diversity.
It's crazy. I'm sure there's a lot more to know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
So be careful with deadly nightshade.
Yes, don't touch it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the nightshade family.
Nightshade. Okay. So, next, super creepy.
Yeah, this one has always creeped me out.
And it's actually native to North and South Carolina here in the United States.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's from the United States. This is weird. Here we go.
Okay.
The Venus flytrap.
Carnivorous plants they're so fascinating just in themselves. Like plants that eat, they're carnivorous. They eat meat.
They eat. This one eats flies specifically, but it probably eats other bugs if it catches them. And this is
weird.
The Venus flytrap, that's a modified flower, and it actually has the stench smell in the center of it of rotting meat. It actually produces naturally that stench to attract flies, to attract
so weird.
Insects. So then, and maybe even really small animals.
How big do these get?
I don't know. That's
I'm
a good question.
I've never.
I would think if they're found out in the wild, they can get pretty good sized.
I wonder.
I mean,
we'll have to. We don't know much about these because we've never grown them ourselves.
But I mean, literally, this plant is built to attract and kill and digest insects, and that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And this modified flower, once it's triggered, it actually moves on a hinge in the center, and it closes. And it actually will then keep the insect in there and then just start to digest it right inside there.
Gross.
Isn't that crazy?
It's gross and fascinating. It's just...
It is. Amazing.
I can't even believe that exists.
What an adaptation.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Flytrap. So...
Yeah. Yep.
I know there's like a whole study, or a whole group of people, obviously, that study just nothing but carnivorous plants.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's just... Wow.
It always made me wonder, like, wouldn't it be weird it would be interesting to keep something like that and just study it.
Maybe feed it a couple flies.
I don't think I could do that.
That'd be bad.
I couldn't do that, but it is fascinating.
Yeah, definitely a scary, spooky plant. Yes.
Okay, moving on in our scary, spooky plant list.
This one's gonna be great.
This one's not like really scary per se. It just kind of looks interesting.
Makes you think a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called a brain cactus.
Yep. This is a cactus that actually grows and looks like and resembles the human brain. It really does.
I think that'd
it's
be really
so crazy.
interesting. Yeah, we've seen other photos of it where they get quite large, not like huge, but and they look like a brain.
Yep. Yep. You can see this one. Somebody had a great idea to put it inside a planter. The planter shaped as a skull. Scary, spooky type of thing going on there. Of course, Halloween. So, but yeah, just to give you an idea, this is an actual cactus. It's a growing, living plant, and it resembles a human brain.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
So, yeah, you guys, pretty crazy. So we're going to take a quick pause here. We're having some technical difficulties with our connection, but we're working it out. And maybe that'll help out there.
Okay, sorry if you guys are having a poor video right now. Well, I think we're good now.
It looks like it's okay now.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry guys. Live and learn.
Yeah, live and learn.
Okay, so
brain cactus.
Brain cactus, fun stuff. So that is actually native to central Mexico, of all places. It's an actual cactus. So it's a succulent. It's a cactus. It thrives in desert conditions. It's a crazy plant.
Kind of cool, actually. Yeah. So the last one on our list.
Last one.
You guys are probably gonna be like, what? Like, this isn't actually a spooky plant per se, but it is spooky if you think about the characteristics of this plant.
Yes.
Which we have all over the Pacific Northwest, by the way.
Yes, in our forests, in our gardens, unfortunately. It's now a noxious weed. It's controlled. Most places will not sell it, and so
although
that's a good thing.
people do plant it.
Yep. People take home cuttings, and sometimes they go out to the forest and they don't even know it, and it gets on their car, or a piece gets in their boot or something, and they actually will track it and spread it themselves. They don't even know they're doing that. So
we are talking about English ivy.
English ivy.
And it's spooky because it's so invasive. Yep. It literally will take down a tree by choking it out, because it climbs up the tree trunk and it just spreads out and it'll like consume the tree basically.
Well, it shades out all the different portions of the tree that actually photosynthesize, and it becomes so heavy, and it shades out that other plant or that tree that it completely consumes, or not consumes, but overgrows, and it kills off the plant because the other plant can't photosynthesize. And then the sheer weight of that ivy eventually, because it keeps growing in girth and size and all that, it will literally tear a tree down. We actually have that going on in our front yard right now. We do have that,
and we have a beautiful golden chain, probably a 40 or, no, more than that, probably a 50, 60-year-old tree that our my grandparents probably planted, that is literally being choked out.
Yep, and we've tried over the years to take the ivy out. We got new neighbors now, and they're helping out with it now, so hopefully that'll happen. We'll be able to save that tree.
I know, and we do have, we have ivy that was planted for, enjoyment back in probably the 60s by my grandparents and the neighbors, and it's all over.
Yep, we've torn it out of the backyard, we've torn it out of the front yard. There's still remnants of it, and we find pieces of it in different places. On the other side of our fence, though, in the backyard, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It just took over.
It is. If you don't control it or figure out ways to, you literally have to yank it by the root and follow it along. They like spread through runners under the ground. Yeah. And if you don't get the whole part, it'll just keep coming back, and it'll take over everything.
In our area, in our climate, it's a noxious weed, an invasive species, and it has to be controlled. So, yep.
So we consider it spooky.
It's a scary plant.
It's a scary, spooky plant. And that's number 9 on our list, and the final plant that we're going to talk about.
Yep, scary, spooky.
There's so many more, you guys. But of those 9, do you have a favorite? Like we said earlier, for any reason, is there one that you find the creepiest, the scariest, the coolest? Yep. Something you would actually add to your garden? Please let us know in the chat or in the comments down below, because we want to find out.
And to recap, there was wolf's bane, there was Japanese bloodgrass, spider flower, eyeball plant, our favorite, bat face plant, and nightshade, and that was the whole family, not just one plant, but the whole family of nightshade. And then the Venus flytrap, the brain cactus, and then, of course, English ivy.
Of course, all in the, with the holiday theme of Halloween coming up. So we thought that would be kind of fun. Do you find what's one of those plants that you think is the scariest?
The scariest?
For whatever reason.
I'm going to go with the Venus flytrap, actually.
That's a good one.
I mean, out of all of them, that's the one I would find the most scariest. If it was like sitting in front of me, that'd be the one I'd be the most apt to touch or interact with in whatsoever.
I know, that's a good point. I kind of think wolf's bane, actually, because I think it's so deceiving because it's so beautiful, but all the parts of it are deadly. So, I mean, even if you brush up against it, it can like get in your skin and you could absorb it and it can kill you. So I think plants like that are terrifying because you don't even expect it.
Yeah, really good point.
So I feel like that's the scariest one. Is there anything that you'd put in our garden of those?
If we could, the brain cactus.
Yeah?
That'd be
that's
fun.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, what about you, Hen?
I don't know. I like the Japanese bloodgrass.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I think that could be, I could see that in our yard in a couple spots. It's just such a beautiful, the texture is amazing, and just the color. You're not used to seeing bright red, grass leaves or whatever sticking up.
Yeah, no, totally. It's full sun, so it's a beautiful, beautiful plant.
We don't have a lot of full sun spots left, though, but I think we could find some room.
Yeah.
So let us know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are with all those plants, and we hope you enjoyed that tonight.
Yeah, we hope that was fun for you guys. Yeah.
kind of changed from what we normally do on Wednesdays, which if you've been following some of our other lives, we usually do kind of more of a teaching lab.
Yeah, more of a hands-on, learning new skills type of thing. And so, but we want to take a break from that and kind of get in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of forgot that it's this weekend, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
Saturday.
Today's the 28th. Whoa.
Yep.
This month went really fast.
It did.
So we hope you guys are doing well, and yeah, please chime in. Let us know some of your favorites from this episode, and if you have any questions, let us know down below.
Definitely, yeah. And again, if you're watching the replay, you're making any comments, definitely type in #replay, and then we'll know when you saw it and how to reply to you. So, yeah.
That's about it for now, I believe, you
Yeah,
guys.
totally.
Have a great Halloween weekend. Be safe.
Yeah, thanks for being here, too.
Thanks
This
for
has
being
been fun.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun.
So-
And we'll be back next Wednesday for our live with another teaching style lab.
Yep.
Probably something related to getting ready for winter,
Yeah.
maybe for your garden.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what we come up with.
Yeah,
We're not sure
totally.
yet.
So,
But all right, everybody.
all right, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.